Assalamu alaikum, High Oracle, Reiki Spiritual Healer. And today we are talking about the part 2 of money drawing, your abundance and prosperity. So one of the ways that I like to do this is to gauge people's energy, their financial energy, by using the lemongrass. Lemongrass is a great way. It's a money drawing oil. There's a money drawing rub that I make with that, with also other ingredients. There is a cleansing bath, a floor wash that I make with that. So there's a lot of things that I make with the lemongrass to gauge where the person's financial energy is. And it cleanses, it purifies. There are negative energies that it push out, and it draws in the money and the good luck. It draws in the things that you will need to get off of you if someone has sent something to you, if family, friends on your job. It will remove those negative energies so that you can be prosperous in your financial health, in your financial energy. So, I have a prayer that I like to pray over my clients when I go see them. And it is Surah Al-Fusilat. And it's 49 and 40. It's 41 and 49. I'm sorry about that. Fusilat 41 and 49. And it says, man does not weary of asking for good things, but if evil touches him, he is hopeless and in despair. It will help you to stay grounded when that negative energy is being removed from you, and to bring in also the good energy. So you always want to read that prayer when you're praying for anything negative, any blockages on your money, on your finances, to be removed, and to attract the money drawing, to attract the money, the finances that you're looking for. So another thing that I like to do is always the spiritual bath. Those spiritual baths is the best way to remove the negative energy if someone has had stagnant energy set up on them for long periods of time, malignant energy. And in my first video is some of the ways that you can get to having a lot of stagnant energy and malignant energy attached to you. So I always like to say that first, because that has to be cleaned off. You're not going to be able to draw in your money, draw in the finances, draw in the prosperity if you're not praying, if you don't have a connection with God, and if you haven't cleansed the negative energy first. Sometimes that will require, if the lemongrass does not work for you and you're still feeling an oppression to your money, you're having a blockage to your money, the money is the energy that we're using to draw in the good things in our life, to be able to relay these things to our children and our family, the gifts that God has given us. If there is a blockage on that, the lemongrass will be able to let us know if there's a blockage on that, and you still feel oppressed, you're still having problems financially, then we can move on to something more progressive than the lemongrass. But the lemongrass is for purification. I can also make a tea of that to address the internal ailments and problems that may have been sent, by blockages to your finances, with that as well. So the lemongrass is a very great way to draw in your money. And what you will need to continue to do is to pray, to make sure that you're praying, make sure that if we have had our discussion and you need to fast for 2 or 3 days. Tomorrow, is Monday. So I'm going to be fasting on Monday and Thursday in order to rid any negative energy that may try to attach itself to my finances, my money, or after I have helped someone with their finances and their money. This is something that you need to do if something is going on in your life, or if any of the blockages may be in your life that we have discussed in part 1 of our money join, of our prosperity and abundance. I implore you to look at that video and make sure that you don't have any of those kinds of blockages, or you have set up that kind of karma in your spirit, so that the lemongrass will, be it won't be able to work for you. You will need something more progressive to get that negative energy. You will need a progressive kind of schedule in order to remove that negative energy from your life, from your finances, from your generation, if it may be a generational curse. So those are some of the things that I like to do with the lemongrass, to judge the energy, to see where you are your financial energy is with the client, with you. It's something that you can do. I have other progressive methods, just like I say, to get rid of the negative energy off of your finances and draw in the good energy. You can always reach out to me at highoracle.com if you want progressive methods, money drawing tips, if you want progressive baths, spiritual baths, floor cleansings. If you want those kind of tips, you can book a session with me so that we can continue to get rid of the negative energy from you and draw in the good energy. So like I say, the teas that I make is also, they're very progressive in getting rid of negative energy. They also have health benefits, cholesterol, controlling cholesterol, high blood pressure, controlling your diabetes as well, and making sure that those kind of things, you're not being attacked, financially in that way in the health department, so that you lose finances due to your health. So those are some of the things that I like to address when I am addressing a person's financial health. Because if you have blockages, if you have generational curses, you'll start to see almost all of those things in part 1, and health problems start to evolve in your life as blockages, as negative energy, and that will need to be removed before the good energy starts to come in, the money drawing starts to come in. And we always want to make sure that we're doing our due diligence, we're praying, we're cleansing, we're purifying. We're cleansing our homes. We're purifying our bodies. We're purifying any instruments that we may be using to draw in our money. We don't want to use the same instruments that we didn't get an answer from. If you have an incense burner, you want to purify that. The lemongrass is good for that. So these are some of the things that I like to do, and I like to go over with my clients so that they understand their financial health is tied to a lot of different things. And in order to heal that, then we first have to remove the negative energy and start there first. You just don't start, just because you want money, to start drawing in money and bringing in. You might bring in the wrong type of money. You might bring in, the wrong type of energy. So we always want to, a 2-in-1, to cleanse it and remove the negative energy and draw in the cleansing energy. And so I hope that this has helped. I hope that you can use the lemongrass in order to cleanse and purify your energy, have a purifying bath, and use it as a tea or use it as a rub to purify your money and bring good things into your life. I'm High Oracle, Reiki spiritual healer. You can reach out to me at any time at highoracle.com. You can leave a comment, follow me, and like and share. I'm High Oracle, Reiki spiritual healer. Assalamu alaikum.